everybody, it's your girl Kaarimilani. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For today's video, if you guys can read from the title up above or below, you will know that I'm going to be doing another story time on the time where I almost fought in the nail salon. Before I get into the details of this video, I wanted to thank you guys so much for all the love and support you guys have been showing me for the past couple of weeks. I have been posting videos non-stop and the views just keep on coming, so thank you guys so much for that. So this story time happened last year in September. I had decided to go to the nail salon with me and my best friend so I could get my nails redone because I went the day before, but the lady did not know what she was doing and she like kind of messed up my nails. So I just called my best friend up and I was like, hey, let's go get our nails done. You know, it's the first day of school tomorrow. Let's get cute. So she was like, okay, you know, let's do it. Let's go. So before we went to the nail salon, we had stopped at this Chinese restaurant to get something to eat because we both were like really hungry and we didn't eat anything the whole entire day. I forgot exactly what we had to eat, but we got our food, we ordered our food, and we had made our way to the nail salon to make my appointment. So when we get to the nail salon, I immediately looked to my left and I happened to see this girl who I had beef with back in middle school. Now, I didn't really pay too much attention to her because the beef that apparently me and her had was over my best friend who she had fought in 8th grade, and we just stopped being friends because of that. You know, at first we were really close, but then after she had fought my best friend, it was just like she started making up these lies that I had jumped her, that I was being such a fake friend, and just made up all these bullshit lies about me that I did not appreciate. So we just stopped being friends, and that was that. Now, I'm not sure if my best friend had peeped that she was in there, but at one point in time we had looked at each other and we started chuckling a little bit, you know, something that we should not have done. But we had walked out of the nail shop after I made my appointment to kind of get ourselves together and calm ourselves down, and also to go get our meal. So after me and my best friend were done finishing our meal, we had went over to the nail shop or whatever, but it was still way too early. You know, I was still, I think, the 8th person waiting to get my nails done. So, you know, we sat there and we waited. Now, at one point in time, my cousin had walked into the nail shop to get her nails done. She already had an appointment and, you know, she got there for our appointment on time. She was one of the people that was before me. So she's sitting and we started talking. I introduced her to my best friend and we just, you know, we started talking casual or whatever. You know, I haven't seen her in a really long time and she had just had a baby. So I was just trying to check in on her and see how she was with the baby and how's the baby doing. And yeah. About a half an hour later, I would say 2 of my friends from middle school had walked in and they immediately saw me and my best friend and came over to us and just started hugging us, saying how much they miss us. You know, we haven't seen them in so freaking long. So it was kind of like a little reunion. You know, we hugged each other, we said how much we missed each other. And at one point in time in the conversation, one of them had noticed that she was sitting there. Now, for the sake of her privacy, we're just going to call her Red. So one of the girls had noticed that Red was sitting over there and they kind of like tapped me on the shoulder and I was like, oh yeah, I know, I seen her already, you know. So they were like, oh, you know, I hope you guys are not starting any trouble, you know, I don't want you guys to go to jail because y'all can go to jail for fighting somebody in the nail salon. And I was just like, you know, there's no beef on my end. I would never, you know, try and fight somebody in a public place, especially at a nail salon, because I just think that is ridiculous and ghetto. I don't know if Red thought that we were talking about her or not, but I would say about 20 minutes after that, you know, her mom and her sister had walked into the nail salon and Red had stood up and had told her mom that we were talking about her. So I'm not sure if the other girls heard that, but I know that I heard that and I knew that they were going to come over and try to confront us. So eventually the mom and sister came and walked over to us and just was like, oh, you know, yada yada yada, what y'all talk about my daughter, this, that, and the third. And so me and my best friend looked at each other and we were like, no, what are you talking about? So that's when Red was like, oh, y'all were talking about, look at that girl in the red turban and all this other stuff. I don't like it that y'all talking about me. I ain't do nothing to y'all. So at this point I'm quiet because I know for a fact that I was not talking about her. I didn't say not nan word about her. And so my best friend and the mom started going back and forth, and then the sister had eventually jumped in. So at this point my best friend is going back and forth with the mom, the sister, and also Red. Now I was going to stay quiet, you know, because the type of person I am, it takes a lot for me to get out of character, and I was trying so hard to just sit and keep myself calm and, you know, not get out of character. I was already pissed off that I had to come back to the nail salon and get my nails fixed, so I was trying my hardest not to, like, you know, come out of character. And it wasn't until the mom was like, oh, you talk about my daughter again, I'ma punch your daylights out. Now at this point, I'm like, who did let you go and punch out? Because certainly not this one. So the mom was just like, oh, you the little boy who I took to the skating rink with my daughter. I know exactly who you are. I'm not talking to you. You need to stop being involved in other people's conversations. Who are you? Who are you? And I was just like, oh, I'm her best friend. You know, she always going to have somebody with her and 10 toes behind her. So what's up? The mom, the sister, and Red both got kicked out of the nail salon. And it got to the point where they were banging on the windows. And at this point, they wasn't even trying to fight my best friend. They were trying to fight me. Now, all I heard outside was, oh, come outside, you're a pussy, I want to fight you, faggot, you confused about what you want and who you are. Mind you guys, keep in mind that Red is bisexual. She came out as bisexual in middle school. So I'm like, me confused about what I want. Honey, you haven't even came out to your mom yet. To make a long story short, the half of the nail salon staff were trying to keep them from coming inside, and the other half was trying to keep me from going outside. So they had me in a chair, and it took about 3 staff plus my best friend plus my cousin to try to hold me down in that little seat. Because one thing about me is that when I get mad and when I get to that point where I'm just about to just blow the fuck up, it takes a lot for people to calm me down. So at this point, I'm just like, let me the F out of this chair right now before I break somebody's face in here. On some real let me out, or I'm damaging all y'all shit. So at that point, Red and her mom and her sister had drove away, and I was expecting them to come back to the nail salon or at least wait for me outside. So after I was done getting my nails, I was like prepared mentally and physically to go outside and fight. Go outside, and I'm standing there, you know, I'm waiting for somebody to try to run up on me. Nobody ran up on me. So I had walked my best friend home, and then I had went home. So the next day of school, which was the first day of school, I was walking in the hallways, and lo and behold, guess who I see? Red. So we had walked past each other, and so she had looked me up and down and was like, fucking bitch. So I looked at her and I said, girl, you don't want none of this. Calm all that down, sweetheart. Keep walking, keep walking. So she like, oh, say it to my face, say it to my face. You acting pussy just like how you was at the nail salon. I said, first of all, sweetheart, let me explain something to you. I could not get out the nail salon to beat your ass because they was holding me down. That's what really happened. So if you want to get technical, sweetheart, we could get technical. So I'm like, come here then. So she like, oh, yada, 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 you pussy, da, 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 da. And then she turned around and kept walking. Yo, who's really pussy at this point? Who is really fucking pussy at this fucking point? And so that was really pretty much the last time I heard from her that month. And it wasn't until last month, I'm sitting in the class, and next thing you know, the door swings open. And guess who walks in? The lady in red. Bitch had a bob just like mine. Y'all see how my bob is like cut? She had a bob just like mine, but the roots were like black and it was like blue. But it wasn't really like, mine's is like, I bumped my bob at the end. Hers was just straight, and it was like frayed and nappy, and it was like so, it wasn't even evenly cut. So I looked her up and down, and I was like, ugh, I already know this bitch gonna be a problem. She came in and she sat on the other side of the classroom. She had on these black pants, these fake ass fucking Timbs. I don't know where she got those shits, but they were fake. They have no tree on them at all. She was wearing this like pink jacket plus sunglasses. Like, she had sunglasses on. Mind you, in the theater class, the walls are painted black. It's a black box theater, so y'all can fucking figure out what I'm talking about. The walls are painted black. It's all painted black in the room. So why the fuck are you wearing shades, hon? We're not outside. We're in the middle of doing a project when she had walked in. So it was time for me and my other friend to come up and present our project. So we're presenting our project or whatever. And this bitch come from this side of the room, and she goes and sit. Because I sit where I was sitting at. I was sitting next to my friend. And so she had got up from where she was sitting at and came and sat in the same seat that my friend was sitting in. My friend had peeped it, but she didn't say anything. Mind you, I already told my friend about this bitch before she even came to the class. So she know the situation or whatever. So, you know, my friend was looking at her like, I know this bitch is not just in my seat. But we were trying to keep our composure while we were up doing the project. So eventually we came and we sat down. And, you know, my friend is standing up behind her. So Red looks to her and was like, oh, do you want your seat back? So my friend was like, yeah, I'm not sitting here for no fucking reason. I want my seat back. So Red looked at her and just continued to sit there and was staring at me. So at this point, I'm just like, why is this bitch staring at me? Like, does she want to fight? Because we could fight. It's nothing. At that point, my teacher started talking in front of the class, and I guess Red just like continued to sit there. So my friend started shaking, because my friend has anger issues, y'all. My friend has anger issues. Okay, so my friend just started shaking a little bit. Her leg was shaking. So she like, I know this bitch heard me say I want my seat back. So Red was ignoring her, and my friend was just kept on saying things. Like, she just kept saying shit. So Red eventually turned around and was like, oh, bitch, if you wanted your seat back, that's all you had to fucking say, and da-da-da-da-da. So friend looks at her and was like, bitch, I just said, you asked me if I wanted my seat back, and I said I wanted my seat back. So, bitch, get up and get my seat back. So that's when my friend and Red started arguing. Red had hit me in my face in the process, then turned around and said, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit you. So she got escorted out of class, and she got switched to another class. Now, I thought that this was going to be the last I hear of this bitch, but no. No. One day, I was on Snapchat, and I happened to get a friend request from this person named Who2. I had accepted their friend request because recently my best friend told me that she needed to make a new Snapchat because hers got hacked, so I just thought it was her. And almost immediately, I get a message. Now, at first I could not see the message because it had disappeared from the chat, so I was just like, oh, who was this? Tag me in another post. So I click on a post, and I'm gonna post the screenshots right here. The post said something like, oh, this little boy said I couldn't get my nails done. Well, yada yada yada, look who's getting their nails done. Do y'all see this bitch nails? I want y'all to take a nice, long, hard look at her nails. Do you guys see her nails? She got these little itty bitty nails that's not even that fucking big. Talk about some she can afford to get her nails done. Sweetheart. Sweetie. For those size nails, that cost like $25. So you literally posted that and tagged me on your story. For what? For those $25 fucking nails, baby. Any type of nails I get, any style, because I get my nails long. And when I get my nails done, my nails cost almost $160. The cheapest nails I ever got was $60, and that's because I got the medium that time. So at that point, I had replied back, and I was just like, oh, bitch, you just want attention. Like, that's what you want. You want attention. That's what you want. You want attention so fucking bad. So I guess she was pretending to be one of her cousins or whatever, and was just like, oh, you feel me, yada yada yada, you keep talking shit about my cousin, I'ma fuck you up, yada yada yada. So I'm like, who was talking shit about your cousin? What are you talking about? So I was just like, oh, nobody was talking shit about your cousin. I have no idea what you talk about or who you are, but y'all both weirdos, and y'all need to get the fuck out of my inbox. So I blocked them, and it got to the point where they tried to even hack my Snapchat. Now, thank God I was on my Snapchat that time when they tried to hack my Snap, because I immediately got a message, and it was like, oh, somebody logged in from this Samsung. And I said, somebody logged in on my Snapchat from a Samsung. First of all, I own an iPhone, so who the fuck? So I had changed my password real quickly, and that was that. About, I want to say 2 days later, this bitch posted about me on her Snapchat again. I had posted a picture, and I had this 30-inch wig on, and it was really cute or whatever, and I was really feeling myself. It's on my Instagram if you guys want to see it. I will post a video here about what I posted. But that's what I had posted, and I thought I was looking really cute that day. I had the little button-up shirt. You know, I was really feeling myself that day. And I happened to be scrolling through stories. Like, I didn't just go and stalk this bitch stories. I happened to scroll on my story, and I come across this status from her. It was just like, I forgot exactly what it said, and I'm so mad that I did not screenshot it, because I forgot exactly what it said. But it was some, like, it was some shit that I knew she would talk about me. So at this point, I posted another picture, and I said, oh, the caption was like, oh, I got bitches looking on my Snap just to see my sexy ass. So, you know, me and this bitch started going back and forth again on Snapchat. She was posting shit, I was posting shit. To the point where eventually I started posting pictures of her and comparing it to myself. So I was like, oh, look at this bitch curls or whatever, because this bitch, her hair, tiny. And it shedded a lot. Like, it'd be all over her jacket and shit. So I was just like, oh, look at this bitch hair compared to my natural hair and my bun and curls. So 2 pictures of her, and I posted 3 pictures of myself. And that was that. I left the situation alone after that, because at this point, I'm not going back and forth with you, sweetheart. I'll see you when I see you. So the next day in school, about 2 blocks passed by. I had just got finished walking one of my other friends to gym, and I was walking up the back steps. My school is set up in order to get to the art class, you have to go through the back steps and enter this other hallway. So I'm walking up the steps or whatever. Mind you, there was nobody in the hallways, no security guards, none of that. So her and her friend was standing there, and this bitch had on shades again. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I know exactly what this bitch want. So she starts taking off her sunglasses and walking towards me. So I'm dropping off my book bag. I dropped off my phone. I dropped off my jacket. So she like, oh, bitch, you was talking about me on Snapchat. And I said, I sure was. So what's up? So she tried to swing at me. And so I had picked her up and I flipped her. And so at that point, I had her on the floor and I was just like, punch her, like boom, boom, boom. Eventually, she took her fucking fake ass Tim, kicked me in my face, and got on top of me. She proceeded to then pull my hair. And that was it. That was all she did. She got on top of me. She kicked me in my, first of all, she kicked me in my face. She got on top of me just to pull my head. Now, my head was like, I felt like my head was about to break how hard she was pulling my fucking head. You know, at that point in time, when you're fighting, you don't really feel pain until afterwards. So at that point, I'm hitting her all in her face, and her friend proceeds to try and jump in. At this point, I grabbed Red, and I said, bitch, if you jump in, I swear to God on my mother, I swear to God, you're gonna get fucked up next, watch. So her friend was like, oh, yada, 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 I'm not trying to jump in, I'm trying to break it up. So at that point, I let go of her, she let go of me. You know, the security guards come rushing over. They're like, was y'all two just fighting? And so we both was like, oh, yeah. I was like, oh, I fucked her up. So that's when, I'm trying to remember what happened at that moment. And after that, I started processing everything. I said, oh, and you fat bitch. For the sake of her friend's privacy, we're gonna call her fat bitch. So I said, oh, you fat bitch, I'm gonna fuck you up next, just watch. Now, my godfather is one of the security guards of the school. So the girl security guards are like, oh, you know, your goddaughter was just fighting, you know, come get her, we can't handle her, she's going off, she's going crazy. So my goddad come rushing over, he's like, what's the matter? So at this point, I'm screaming, I'm yelling, everybody's trying to get out the classroom to see what's going on. And they all in the office, they laughing about it. They're like, ha, you got fucked up. And I'm like, bitch, you never fucked me up. You got that measly kick. That's all you got was that dumb, weak ass kick, honey. You did not fuck me up. So after that, my mom first came up to the school. She thought that I started the fight. And I was just like, Mom, I did not start the fight. So the security had went to go look at the security cameras. And lo and behold, I did not start the fight. They approached me. So at this point, my mom, you know, she was about ready to press charges on them because at this point, y'all bitches tried to jump me. So, fat bitch was steady screaming, I wasn't even trying to jump in. Yada, yada, yada. I was trying to break up the fight. So I said, girl, no, you was not. So they suspended me for a day and they suspended them for about 2 days, and we had to come back with our parents for a meeting. So we're in a meeting and Red is the only bitch who did not show up. Fat bitch and her mom showed up. You know, was going off in the meeting like, oh, you know, I don't even play that or whatever. You know, I'm a good mom. I take good care of my kids. And fat bitch was acting real childish in the meeting. And she still was trying to claim that she did not jump in. So at one point in time, the principal even had to say, I saw the videotape. You tried to jump in. You tried to swing on her. So she was still going off, still acting childish. I was just so over it. I was so ready to go to class because if this bitch said one more thing, I was going to reach across the table and just shaboop. But I had to keep my composure. I had to keep calm because not only was my mother in a meeting, but I had my godmother in a meeting. And I did not want them to, you know, look at me that way. Or I didn't want because me and the principal, we're like real close. So I didn't want the principal nor my parents to like look at me in a way where it's just like, oh, so this is how you really act. Because that's not who I am as a person. So I'm trying to keep my calm. I'm trying to keep my composure. We're still waiting for Red and her mom to show up. And, you know, we get a call and they're like, oh, we can't show up. My brother died or my uncle died. So at this point, I'm just like, bitch, you're lying. And you already knew what the deal was. You already knew you was going to get your ass whooped in this meeting if you was to say the wrong thing. You're lying. So after that, we had closed out the meeting and that was about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. And yeah, bye, babies.